Hey guys, so today I am bringing a pregnancy update. First I want to say I am a mom of 3 boys. That was 4, 3 boys. Kenny, Caleb, and Aiden. Aiden is 1, Kenny is 8, and Caleb is 5. So 8, 5, and 1. I found out I was pregnant January 28th. This was not expected, but it's we're happy to be having another baby. I wasn't even past like a late period or anything like that. I was just feeling nauseous, like super nauseous. But I was also feeling like I was getting sick at the same time. I was having heat flashes. I remember asking a girl like if she was hot, and she's like no, and then she touched me. She's like, oh yeah, you're burning up. At work. So I decided to take a test, and I took the test just expecting it to be like my period coming, because that's the symptoms I get when I'm getting my period, is sore boobs or nausea, or I swear up and down I'm pregnant, and I'm not. So that's what I thought it was going to be. Took the test, thought nothing of it. 2 lines popped up. And I was like, it didn't even feel real. I'm just like, okay. First the furthest line popped up. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Put it down, picked it back up. The second line was there. I'm like, oh, shit. Told my boyfriend that. I was like, get in this bathroom right now. I'm like, look at this. And then he's like, can you give me a second, please? And then he like, I don't know what he did in the bathroom, but I like walked out and he was in there for a few seconds. I think he was like doing like an excitement dance, because I don't know why, but I don't know, he just always seemed excited about it, never unhappy or anything like that. So yeah, when I found out I was about 2 or so weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, I don't know. At the time, my period, it was January 28th, my period was due February 5th. So yeah, 2.5, 3 weeks. I'm 14 weeks and 4 days today. And I go to the doctor's tomorrow. They bumped my due date up. The last appointment I had was an ultrasound, and I guess that's how now my doctor's office determines how far along you are, besides going off of your last period. I told him my last period was January 5th, and I even looked at my text messages back when I asked my boyfriend to get me some tampons. So I'm like, yeah, it was definitely the 5th. But they bumped me up a week. At that time, I was 9 weeks and 4 days, so they bumped me up to 10 weeks and 4 days. So I guess your period doesn't matter anymore. It just goes by the size of the baby. So that bumped my due date up to, it was October 12th. They bumped it up to October 4th. So I guess I'm doing October 4th. But then when I went to talk to my doctor after the ultrasound, she said, excuse me, she said October 4th or late September, meaning the last 2 weeks of like September, because my youngest, my 1-year-old, was 2 weeks early. So I'm assuming that's why she gave us that last 2 weeks of September, but I'm not exactly sure. But today I'm 14 weeks and 4 days. I feel really good, aside from this really annoying symptom. It is called rhinosinusitis of pregnancy. It's terrible. So I'm not struggling to breathe, but it's harder to breathe because my nose is stuffy. What it is, I don't know exactly what it is and what causes it, but my nasal passages, or whatever you want to call them, are swollen. It has been like this for like a few weeks, maybe since like 6 or so weeks. It is really obnoxious because I'm constantly sounding like this. Constantly blowing my nose is constantly running, and I do have allergies, so on top of that, it's like I was getting a break from my allergies, they're going away, and then all of a sudden this happens. So whenever people just ask me if I'm sick, I just say it's allergies rather than explaining it. So no, I don't have a cold. Sorry if it sounds annoying. Yeah, so that's my only symptom right now. The symptoms I had before, from 6 weeks till about 12 or so weeks, terrible nausea. Like, oh my god, I'm so glad it's over with. I would get sick if I had a full bladder, if I had to go number 2. Sorry, that's TMI, but if I was hungry, or if my boyfriend turned up the heat in the house and then it started like hitting me in the face, the heat, no. Or if I was hungry, if I didn't just say that, it was terrible. And I was working at the time, I'm a cosmetologist, so being around color, being around a bunch of other girls, it was a lot. I'm so happy that it's over with, because sometimes I just want to cry, and the only thing that would help is drinking like ice water or just going to bed. And at that time I like stopped taking my prenatal pills because just the taste of them is disgusting. Like, I take the gummy ones, I can't stand it. I have to plug my nose, but even now when I take it, I plug my nose and I gag over it. Like, it's terrible. I think that is the only symptom, was that obviously the fatigue and just fatigue and nausea, being super hungry. But now that I'm in my second trimester, I don't have nausea. I get hungry, but not a lot. I feel like I ate a lot more in my other pregnancies. Like, this pregnancy, I feel so much smaller. Like, I don't feel like I'm pregnant at all. Like, I can still somewhat sleep on my stomach. Usually I feel the baby by now. I feel the baby every now and then, but not like before. Like, when I was 13 weeks and finding out the sex of my youngest son, I can feel the baby. But this time, this baby's like, I'll give you a few kicks a day and he'll be good, mom. So yeah, I just feel super small this pregnancy. But as I said, I'm not really eating. My fatigue is gone. I can stay up all day, but I still do take naps, because sometimes if I'm just going out and about or not resting, I will feel a little sick, but it's not bad like it was in the beginning. And I noticed that this whole stuffy nose thing is causing, sometimes it'll cause like a headache. The worst thing I can say right now with this is trying to sleep at night, because sometimes when I lay down, my nose will clear up and I can breathe halfway at least through the night. And then I'll get up and for some reason it'll get stuffy again, and then I can't sleep that good the rest of the night. But a week or two ago, I was sleeping and my nose was horribly stuffed. So I had to breathe with my mouth open. Obviously, when you're sleeping, your breathing is more shallow. So I would wake up gasping for air. It was really scary. My nose is like running, you guys. So, and then my body would feel jittery. But I did drink caffeine that day. I quit caffeine completely because that was part of the reason why I woke up. Like, I think it was a little bit of anxiety and then the breathing. And then I would scare myself because I would start panting and I'd feel like I was going to faint and get really lightheaded. And it happened 3 or 4 times. And I'm home at night by myself usually during the weekdays because my boyfriend works third shift. So I called the ambulance on myself because I wanted them to check me, because I didn't want to pack all the kids up in the car and have them sit around in the hospital, or if something happened to me on the way to the hospital. My boyfriend works like 30 minutes away, but he got here in like 10 to 15 minutes. I was like, he got here really fast. But then it turned out my blood pressure was a little bit high, but okay enough to where they weren't trying to force me to go to the hospital or suggested that I go. And then after they left, my boyfriend came home. I was fine. I stayed up for a little bit. Excuse me, sorry. And it didn't happen again for a few days until like at least 2 days ago. It started happening again. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay up for a little bit until I get really tired, and then hopefully it stops. That's the only symptom right now. that is really on my nerves and something that I can't really ignore because it affects my sleeping and my breathing. So that's why I'm always constantly taking like deep breaths. My boyfriend will be like, why are you huffing and puffing? What's wrong? Because he'll think I'm like angry or something, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get some oxygen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I can show you my belly. I think that's it for the symptoms. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're definitely not finding out the sex of the baby. So if you want to find out the sex of the baby, you can subscribe to my channel and watch our journey. I'll be updating my weeks change every Thursday. I might do every other Thursday, you know, or just conjoin 2 weeks at a time, because I feel like 14 weeks today wouldn't be much different from today's Sunday. Wouldn't be much difference on a Thursday. Or I could do the beginning of a week and then the beginning of the next, but I might just conjoin. I'm not sure how I'm gonna work that out, but definitely will be doing weekly videos. And if I go out with the kids or something, I might be vlogging. Not sure, but if you want to find out the sex of our baby, just remember I have 3 boys. My oldest wants a sister. My middle son wants a sister. He says it's a girl. I told him I don't know what it is, and he's like, well, I know it's a girl. So you know what, I'm gonna believe him. I don't like to, because I believe it jinx things when you think it's like, let's say I thought it was a boy, and that will jinx it, and it'll be the opposite, because if I want a boy, I'm not gonna get it. I'll get the opposite. So that's how I think. And my youngest, he's 1, he doesn't know. I'm wondering how he's gonna handle that, because pretty soon he sleeps with us. He's gonna have to be in his own bed. But follow our journey if you want to find out what we're having. I'm not due till around October, end of September. So hopefully you join my little squad here and you watch my journey. I'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. Give the video a thumbs up. See you later. Bye.